Here's your wrestling news for April 17th, 2022, and your headlines for today include: what did WWE have planned for WrestleMania if Brock Lesnar or Roman Reigns couldn't make it? 2 more superstars to get new names due to new WWE policy. Please stop. Raw superstar pleads with fans after heartbreaking incident this week. AEW star calls out Claudio Cesaro for first match since departure from WWE. Bret Hart to manage FTR after weeks of teasing. What will AEW president Tony Khan announce during next week's Dynamite? Former WWE World Champion to wrestle first match in 3 years very soon, and more. We're kicking off today with WrestleMania 38, where Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar headlined night 2 of the show in what WWE billed as the biggest WrestleMania match of all time. While the match may not have lived up to the expectations of some fans, it was certainly a huge deal, and WWE were taking no chances with the title unification match. When a source within WWE spoke about the match to Ringside News, they said that WWE had taken precautions in case either man got injured and had John Cena booked as a last-minute replacement. They added that not only was Cena available for this match, but that the 16-time WWE World Champion is always on call if the company needs him in case of injury or a positive test. While John's career in Hollywood has made his WWE appearances more and more sporadic, Cena is still contracted to WWE, and there's still many years left on his lucrative deal. Cena is reportedly set to return this June, which will mark 20 years since he debuted on the main roster, and while WrestleMania 38 went off without a hitch, fans could have seen Big Match John had the situation arose. In recent weeks, WWE has been all in on changing the names of superstars, with a new policy being introduced that nobody can use their real names going forward. WWE wants superstars to have a name that they can trademark, and now 2 more members of NXT 2.0 will be getting new monikers. According to PW Insider, Kaylee Ray and Kacy Catanzaro, both of whom currently use their real names, will soon be renamed, but it's unclear when the renaming will take place. Catanzaro, who comes from WWE after finding fame on American Ninja Warrior, will soon be working as Katana Chance, while Kaylee Ray, the longest-reigning champion of NXT UK, will soon be known as Alba Fry. While these names won't affect their in-ring ability, fans will not likely be on board with the changes, but it's all part of WWE's new policy to have even more control over their talent than ever before. One superstar who's made a name for herself, especially over the past year, is Liv Morgan, but the price of fame is proving to be dear for the Raw superstar. Social media platforms have become a hotbed for scammers and con artists to prey on the more oblivious of people, and this week, Morgan revealed that she had been used to scam one of her fans. Taking to Twitter, Morgan shared the heart-wrenching story, saying, "A man sold his home and lost everything thinking he was helping me. This has got me so sick. Please know I would never reach out to ask any of you for a single penny. I'm so sad. Please stop." Morgan added that she's been sent emails of horror stories about fake accounts pretending to be her, asking fans for huge sums of money, which the scammers claim is for an emergency. The Raw superstar isn't the first wrestler to deal with this problem, as Alexa Bliss and others have spoken about this in the past, and it's worth remembering that if your favorite wrestler messaging you out of nowhere seems too good to be true, that's because it is. Earlier this year, Claudio Cesaro left WWE and announced the new name that he'll be working under. Departing from WWE on February 24th, the former United States champion hasn't wrestled for anywhere else since then, but one name is eager to face him. Responding to a photo posted by Cesaro, AEW star Andrade El Idolo called him out for a match, saying it should take place in Mexico, as the last time they faced off was in the Swiss Cyborg's homeland. Cesaro didn't respond to this message, but it has been reported that AEW is interested in signing him to a deal, and if so, it would be the latest big name from WWE to make it to the All Elite promotion. If the match is to take place in Mexico, it's likely that it could happen for a AAA event, as Andrade has performed with the promotion several times in the past, but time will tell whether El Idolo gets the match he's wanting. Cesaro may be coming to AEW soon enough, and he may not be the only talented former superstar to be coming. Ever since firing Tully Blanchard as their manager, FTR have teased bringing in Bret Hart, and now the Hitman will manage the former AEW Tag Champs, albeit in a different company. For the big-time wrestling event in Webster, Massachusetts on June 10th, Bret will manage FTR when they face Brian Pillman Jr. and Brock Anderson, who will be managed by Brock's father, the Enforcer Arn Anderson. Bret does have a history with AEW, as he was the one who revealed the AEW World Championship in 2019, and depending on how the big-time wrestling event goes, we may be on the cusp of Hart being a permanent member of AEW programming. Now next week, AEW President Tony Khan will make a rare appearance during Dynamite to make a blockbuster announcement. Given that the last time this happened, Khan announced his purchase of Ring of Honor, expectations are high, and we may now know what he has in store. We should stress that this is a rumored spoiler, but if you don't want to know anything about next week's announcement, we recommend skipping the next 40 seconds of the video. Ringside News is reporting that Khan's announcement will be the confirmation of an AEW crossover super show with New Japan Pro Wrestling, which is set for the third week of June. Their report adds that there's no word yet on what the show will be called, but that it's been in the works since earlier this year, when IWGP Heavyweight Champion Shingo Takagi spoke about wanting to face Bryan Danielson and CM Punk. This is what the announcement is expected to be, but it's also been rumored that Khan could possibly discuss a TV deal for Ring of Honor or a streaming deal for AEW content. With 6 confirmed matches, including Hook's Dynamite debut, 2 Owen Hart tournament qualifiers, and the second ever AEW Coffin match, next week's Dynamite will be a huge night no matter what, but according to reports, expect a New Japan Super Show to be announced. Back to WWE, and it's been just under 2 weeks since Stone Cold Steve Austin competed at WrestleMania 38, his first match in 19 years. After nearly 2 decades since his last match, there was a lot of concern before the match about how Austin would fare, as his history of neck, back, and knee issues are well documented. Speaking on the Grill and JR podcast, Austin's good friend Jim Ross spoke about the Rattlesnake's reaction after the match, saying, "He and I talked going into that thing and we communicated on Saturday after the show. He seemed to be really happy and almost relieved that they pulled it off." JR also discussed Kevin Owens' role in making the Austin match happen and said that both receive a ton of credit for what they pull off. "He and Kevin Owens deserve a hell of a lot of credit for what they did. To show you what kind of ball player Austin is, he hadn't been on the field for 19 years or something like that, and he didn't look like he missed a step. They kept the match in their lane. I thought it was really smart how they strategized and laid out that match. It was just absolutely a masterpiece in my view, and Kevin Owens deserves a lot of credit as well. You gotta have a dancing partner to make these things work, and Steve had a great dancing partner." For years, Austin had been presented the opportunity to wrestle again, but had always turned the offer down, fearing what it would do to his legacy if he failed to deliver. Now, the Rattlesnake has had that final WrestleMania moment and reportedly has no plans on wrestling again, and after blowing everyone's expectations this month, that's definitely for the best. And we're ending today with Alberto Del Rio, who is set to make his return to AAA later this month. Del Rio hasn't wrestled since 2019 and hasn't exactly kept quiet in his absence from the ring, as he was charged with kidnapping, though that case was later dropped. Recent reports from Fanbyte note that the former WWE World Champion will be the mystery partner of Laredo Kid against the teams of Johnny Superstar and Tarus and Dragon Lee and Dralistico at the upcoming Triple Mania 30 event on April 30th. There was originally someone else who was meant to be Laredo Kid's partner, but after they had to be pulled due to visa issues, AAA negotiated a deal with Alberto. Del Rio may have had his share of controversies, but AAA is ready to welcome him back for one of their biggest shows of the year, but how the former WWE superstar fares after 3 years away from the ring remains to be seen. Well guys, that's our news for today. Please share your comments below. Also hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon to receive all notifications. And as always, thanks for watching.